Today has been a crazy day for crypto holders. The FTX drama has reached a new all-time high, with some major YouTubers talking about it right now as we speak, and even Elon Musk weighing in on some of the craziest conspiracies that are going on in the background. Now today, I'm going to enlighten you guys on some of the craziest pieces of this new drama, and honestly, I think it is quite shocking. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you press that like button, as it could very much be that this video gets deleted for some of the crazy theories that it entails, but we shall see. So we have to start it out with this picture of no, never mind. Okay, sorry, that was a little joke. That was a really funny picture of Sam Bankman-Fried, which of course is not him. We have to start out with the drama that has basically been headlined by Elon Musk. Tom Fitton said over on Twitter, while the Biden gang has been harassing and threatening Elon Musk and his companies, one of the worst scams in modern finance was being perpetuated under the nose by a regular W.H. Hill visitor and the second biggest Democratic donor, and perpetrated. Now, that on its own was an interesting little announcement because it got 61,000 likes. Right? That's already a staggering number on its own. That is mind-boggling numbers right there. But things obviously went a little bit crazier when Elon Musk joined the party. And he basically said Sam Bankman-Fried was a major Democratic donor, so no investigation, obviously. And I think this is where the interesting part for Ripple also comes in and for that lawsuit, as he then states, Sam Bankman-Fried, CEO of FTX, MIT graduate. We then have Gary Gensler, head of the SEC, former professor at MIT. We then have Glenn Ellison, the father of Caroline Ellison, who is the professor of economics at MIT and the former boss of Gary Gensler. And then again, we have his daughter, Caroline Ellison, CEO of Alameda, dated Sam Bankman-Fried, and daughter of Glenn. You guys understand this little circle and how things come along, right? Now, again, guys, this drama goes quite big, as there's also a couple of different sides with FTX's actual fraud or some donation scams. You'll see exactly in just a second how there's a pretty big rabbit hole. It's pretty crazy. But first, right now, take a look at this. Barbara Fried and Sam Bankman-Fried, obviously family. This is over on, I believe, 4chan maybe, shared, I guess, a couple of days ago. Joe Biden, this is April 25th, 2019, announces his presidential campaign. 13 days later, Sam Bankman-Fried, son of Barbara Fried, the co-founder of the political fundraising organization Mind the Gap and Get Out of the Vote organizations, include the Center for Voter Information, launches the FTX crypto exchange. I'm going through it quickly because these things for me are very common knowledge, but I think a lot of you guys might see this for the first time ever. The exchange is an overnight success. How could that be? That enables Sam to become the second biggest donor to the Biden campaign. Really makes you think. And again, Be Mrs. Fried launched totally grassroots Democrat PAC in July 2018. Wonder how you're going to raise enough funds to make a difference, son, coincidentally, which again, through the whole, okay, we'll get into all that in just a second, actually. Through the whole shkadoodle, like we covered just now, was already well connected from the get-go. Son coincidentally becomes a multi-billionaire a few months later. Some things just have a way of working themselves out, I guess. Well, we've stated it earlier, but some of the interesting things are not only on the SEC's front, not only on the connections front that we can straight away see. No. Some things are pretty crazy that are going on way further in the background. And these things are coming to light now that FTX is, I would say, Alameda's balance sheet has become apparent. The fact that they've gotten such a crazy amount of strange traffic going on became apparent. And, well, just take a look for yourself. Breaking exclusive. And again, this also got 40,000 likes. Tens of billions of dollars were transferred to Ukraine, and then using FTX cryptocurrency, the funds were laundered back to Democrats in the US. Again, this is a very hot topic, very controversial, and I cannot say this is confirmed because I'm reading it over on Twitter. Then again, it got 40,000 likes. This is extremely popular, and keep it in the back of your head. This is going pretty rampant over in the space. I see a tweet here attached. Exclusive again, Republicans are using American ignorance of crypto to try and make them believe the FTX collapse was a giant Democrat money laundering operation. Great thing about the blockchain is that you can follow the money trail and it doesn't really happen or didn't really happen. So we can already see how controversial it gets. There's a big battle in the midst, but I should also quickly say that Charles Hoskinson was also on the side of it's been pointed towards the Sam Bankman-Fried Democrat US, okay? Now Republicans are going to come in and say this whole crypto stuff, this regulation stuff needs to happen faster, harsher, and let's not think about it. Let's just get some crazy heavy rules in. And right now it's like the Wild West in the US. But through this, they might seriously make a difference in a very negative way. And again, guys, major YouTubers, even like Penguins right here, Moist Critical with 12 million subscribers, somebody I watch very often. He's even talked about the whole FTX situation right now with his thumbnail being a big Sam Bankman-Fried going to jail type of vibe. But you guys can see from just, watching this for a little second, and from Convisilla and a couple of those other guys, this whole FTX news is becoming very much mainstream news. And the fact that Elon Musk is weighing in so much, it's starting to become a really big political thing. Let's move on to little piece number 2. It is increasingly looking like the Democrats' 2022 campaigns were funded by kickbacks from Ukraine funding using FTX as the pass-through vehicle. No wonder dude is scared for his life after ripping off these people. And the last one was the collapsed crypto FTX has ties to the Ukrainian government, WEF, and top Biden advisor. And then a couple of others have also shared this little money hole, basically, which I don't want to spend too much time on, but it is something interesting to potentially think about, to keep in the back of our heads. Now, again, we already established that even Elon Musk was thinking about this whole situation of everything being connected, right? Well, the last thing he shared, it's actually interesting here, is this right here. Sam Bankman-Fried's fall cuts off big source for funds for the U.S. Democrats. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. What's going to happen to U.S. politics from here on forward? What's going to happen to crypto regulation from here on forward? And obviously, what's going to happen to Sam Bankman-Fried? As even Elon Musk has said it right here. Well, he was very well connected, so the investigations... But let's keep that for what it is. Let's just keep it as neutral as we can right now and cover a little bit of other interesting news. Because I honestly, guys, think this whole space right now is upside down and things are getting crazier and crazier by the day. Again, make sure that if you're enjoying these updates that you press the like button or subscribe to the channel or both of them. Things are wild. Guys, honestly, things are absolutely wild. Take a look at this. This was shared like crazy over in a lot of groups that I'm in. OKX, Bitfinex, Huobi, Crypto.com, KuCoin, all are playing the same stupid shell game with their tokens as FTX did with FTT. People right now are massively fearing for all these other exchanges to fall based on the fact they are playing some sort of game with their actual token that they own. Right, so with KuCoin, they have KCS. With Huobi, they have HT, Huobi token. With Bitfinex, don't even know what they have, actually. No idea. Leo, I believe Leo. Let's see, they have, Bitfinex is Leo token. And then we have, for Crypto.com, the Kronos CRO token. All they're trying to say, basically, is that they're playing some stupid games. Again, I cannot confirm that 100%. Because that would also mean that Binance would be in this little bracket, which I don't think they are. It depends on what you use the token for. And as of this point, well, Crypto.com has an entire ecosystem, so it's hard to place in the same category as a couple of these other ones. Then again, well, we need to stop trusting people's words in terms of the founders, because we kind of see now how that can kind of go wrong. Something else, a little bit different, but something else that I think is very interesting is we've seen a major hack for FTX, right? I hope you guys were all aware that it got hacked for like a couple $100 million. It was a really wild situation, really wacky, and honestly, it's not completely figured out yet. But that situation has gotten like a little triply crazy as well over the last couple of hours. It's just, guys, I don't even know what to say. Things are crazy in the crypto space right now. Hackers, after minting dummy screw FTX, let's call it, even though it says something else right there, you guys can read for yourselves, tokens and transferring them to many publicly known wallets as a way to send an on-chain message. This basically means, right, if you have hacked funds, they're on a certain address right now. And if they're on a certain address and you start sending teeny tiny bits to other addresses, everybody will see, okay, that was really the hackers, and they're basically sending a message through a way that nobody can really deny, because you're going to get that message, right? You can't really stop it. Now, and that's what they said. Now, we are minting and spreading CRONEXT tokens, referring to Crypto.com token. Well, basically, they said CRONEXT, that's it. You can see right here, their little, you guys can see it Here we go. You guys can see right here, the token was called Crow Next. And all that basically showcased was that the hackers that went after FTX are supposedly going to go after Crypto.com too. And honestly, that's where I draw the line. I am not so sure if they have the power. It just depends on what announcement comes out for Crypto.com. But I honestly think that Crypto.com did not have the best responses. I talked about it before. I don't think they did a very good job explaining themselves. And we've seen with the whole situation that FTX was being questioned all this time. Crypto.com has only recently been in the troubles. AAX, another crypto exchange, already shut themselves down, even though they were not necessarily connected to FTX that we knew of. Point being, it could also be that the hackers are just trying to cause a little bit of a bank run to become even a bigger bank run so that they can short it and make even more money on the situation. That's very likely. Or because Crypto.com would have so much influx of users doing crazy stuff or fudding it that because of that, they'd, through some way, shape, or form, be able to find some vulnerability because somebody made a mistake. I have to keep telling you guys, Crypto.com is doing some really shady stuff. We've had a couple weeks ago, $400 million transfer to Gate that nobody could really explain. They said it's an accident, but even CZ said, well, if an exchange moves large amounts of crypto just before they demonstrate their wallet addresses, that's a sign of problems, that's one. But also, it doesn't really seem safe if a major crypto exchange is able to withdraw $400 million as a mistake, even though it's one of their whitelisted wallets, even though it's quote-unquote a good wallet. That's kind of strange. That's kind of wacky, in my opinion. I don't really like that. Now, things have gotten even more interesting down that rabbit hole, as Crypto.com has apparently pulled $80 million USDC out of Binance addresses today to pay out withdrawals, $12 million back to Circle. Why does a crypto exchange have so much in stablecoins on another exchange? Where is their USDC cold wallet, and have they proven reserves for that? That I do not know. All I know is that Chris is defending himself over on Twitter. We got to give him that, but the only problem I see, and I don't really like, is that the majority of founders were very outspoken about everything, and they went on to some sort of publicity calls, basically, and Chris basically said, hey, to the guys that were having some major calls where CZ was, where Elon Musk was, he said, well, you're spreading a lot of FUD. I don't like it, basically. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And he posted a little campaign over on his Twitter saying, the ETH transfers that generated so much FUD and speculation were made over 3 weeks ago to Crypto.com's whitelisted corporate account at Gate. You know, it's just all FUD. But since obviously FTX themselves said as well, we're not in trouble, and then a couple of days later they're in trouble, you can't necessarily trust whatever he says. And also, this is another very important thing. If exchanges or platforms post proof of funds, proof of, basically that they have backing or so, proof of reserves is what they call this, it doesn't really mean much because we do not know what's going on in the background. We do not know exactly how many liabilities they have. I should, however, and this is very important as well, shed some light on the fact that we do not know, for the most part, which exchanges are doing bad and good. People keep asking me in the comment section, so should I take my money off? And let me reiterate, I have got my money on Binance, I've got my money on Bybit, I've got my money on BitGet, still have all those, and I still have not taken $1 off. I've taken my money off of Crypto.com and basically some smaller exchanges that I do not use regularly, like Bityard, AAX I've already taken off like a month or two ago, and there was a couple other ones that I've personally used in the past and have taken it off. Please don't go blaming anybody else for promoting an exchange because nobody knew it would go wrong, basically. Even right now, I trust these guys to the best of my knowledge, but at the end of the day, I don't have knowledge about their books. If I am basically saying, hey, check out this exchange, it's good for usage, I like it. Like, for example, Bybit or Binance, both are links in the description. I still love them to the death, and I still think they're very good places to buy yourself crypto. If they eventually go bust, well, it could happen, but I don't think you could have really foreseen that, except for the fact that even CZ is saying, just take your money off of places you don't really trust, and at the end of the day, you can't really trust anything completely because why or how could you? Another little minor piece is actually Trung Pan, who shared over on Twitter, Scoop, leaked footage of FTX auditors examining the crypto exchange's books, and obviously Elon Musk was laughing at that because that's freaking hilarious. And again, one other little meme right here came by Yeezy ETH. The first photos of SBF since the FTX bankruptcy have leaked and hit mainstream news. Again, I laughed at this for a good little 5 minutes. And one last thing I should say is that the corporate structure, we checked it out. That is freaking wild, man. FTX was kind of planning on all this. I mean, the conspiracies are going crazy as to whether or not they planned it, whether it was all a scheme. I still do not yet know. All I know is, man, I took my money off of Crypto.com, even though they look to be fine in many ways. The withdrawals went fine. The communication is still doing fine. I just don't want to take the risk, though. And I'd personally say, if you don't know how to use a ledger or anything along those lines, look into it, all right? And there will be a link down below to get yourself a hardware wallet. I personally set mine up again today, a couple extra, to make sure I could get more money out of different places. And, well, last but not least, not your keys, not your coins, and stay safe out there, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Press the like button, maybe. Adios, amigos. Have a nice one.